to order. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Calling the Boardman Park and Recreation District public meeting to order on July 22nd, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. Let's go ahead and do, who do we have online?
Nobody.
No one? Okay, let us know if anybody pops in there.
Rick
is here.
Yeah.
There he is.
Just popped on.
Are you in listen only mode, Rick?
I where?
There you are.
Am I what?
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were gonna be in listen only or if you were gonna turn on your camera.
I thought I did turn it on, but let me turn it on. There we go.
There you are. All right, thank you
Hi.
so much for joining us.
Sure. I'm a little
Hi.
wet. It's raining outside.
All right, well, thank you. Let's go ahead and do roll call. John, you wanna start?
Yeah, John Christie.
Krista Price,
Dave Moore. Luis Campos.
Kelly Cooney.
George Scheimer.
Trisha Sut. Julie Jensen.
Julie Jensen, perfect, thank you so much, and then Rick online, of course. Do you have the certificate to swear in, John? All right, John, right hand.
Okay, we're good. You do I have to repeat after you just read it myself?
You can go ahead and read it.
Oh, yay, okay. I, John Michael Christie, affirm to faithfully and impartially perform the duties of the office of board member of the Boardman Park and Recreation District and support the constitutions of the United States of Oregon.
United
and-
States of America.
Yeah, sorry, United States of America and the state of Oregon. and the
Yep.
State of America.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
There's this certificate.
There you go, one more year. 4 more years, sorry.
At least.
All right, approval of the meeting agenda, do we have any changes to it?
I'd like to do, maybe it's under other business, but Little League.
Other business. All right. Rick, when you attend, August's meeting, we will swear you in at that meeting, okay? We're
That's
not
fine.
Okay, we're not allowed to do that online,
Right.
that I'm aware.
We do have a problem with that though. And I just found this out as when I was looking up the verbiage. He has to be sworn in within 10 days of receiving this. And I don't know if we need calls. I don't know I don't know if it has to be done in the meeting. I'm assuming it does.
We'll find out.
Okay. I'll find out.
And within 10 days of receiving what?
The certificate,
Did you mark on there when you received it?
we got it on Friday. Friday the 18th.
We'll
So
find
if
out.
I came,
Do about it
yeah, I mean, I
right now.
could, if I can come in, I could come in on Friday or something and
When do you come back?
Thursday night. It's just a couple of days.
Yeah, we can get them. I mean, I'll find out from Bobby what we gotta do.
We need an emergency meeting on Friday on the bill.
Well, do we have to even be in a meeting? to
That's
swear
what I don't know.
somebody? Okay, well.
Because, yeah, I'll find out. I don't, it just says it has to be, supposed to be sworn in.
All right. So anything else on the agenda? Let's approve the agenda if not. Or I'll take a motion, one way or the other.
I move that we accept the agenda as changed.
Thank you. All in favor?
I'll second.
Good point, that too. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Louise, did you vote?
Yeah.
Thank you. We don't have any public comment. I'm assuming none of us are here in a personal capacity, correct? Individual capacity, all right. Review and approval of the previous regular board meeting minutes and the executive session.
Live in small print.
Gotta go grab real quick.
Yeah, might need to.
Let's figure out real quick, and then we have to unload it. And then Dave can read it and let's go from there.
Okay, you guys can read the regular minutes if you want, nice to read it there.
Let's head over. You wanna make?
Do you guys got any questions? Is there any concerns?
No.
Other than the regular?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the, previous minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. We have some discussion.
We have discussion?
No.
Aye, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there we go. We, already took care of the old minutes.
Did you look at this already, Krista?
You didn't.
The executive?
Yeah, I'm okay with it, if you guys are.
Okay, so I move that we approve the executive session note from
The 24th? Yeah, we haven't done that.
June 24th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
You guys had a chance to review the, June 24th regular meeting minutes?
We approved it already.
Yep.
Oh, you did already,
Yeah, already.
okay, that's the one you were saying, okay. Old business, park master plan?
Just give you an update, they're coming along, the. The company that is a subcontract, for Shapiro. Went through and they're putting together the operations assessment. And we met the other day, talked through different changes, they're updating it, so it's coming along. It's gonna be a nice package deal when it's all done, I think.
When do you think they'll be done?
I think, there's another meeting set in September 4th to finalize everything and get a final approval from, the PAC members.
You think they'll have a timeline, after that meeting?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the first part of October,
Okay.
be finalized by then. I mean, because it's just finite tuning. There's still a few adjustments that are still going on, but I think the first part of October, we should have our package.
David, all right?
Did you want to write on there
We did.
what we normally do?
I can.
I don't know if we need it. David contacted us last week. We sent out a message to him to see what he was going to be able to present to us. He told her that the economy right now, was not a good for the bond, but he's still watching it very carefully. And so right now, he doesn't have anything he wants to present. So when he does, and I'll just keep in contact with him each month to see if he's ready to present something to us. And so for right now, there's nothing, no movement
Okay.
toward that, right?
Pre-audit?
Pre-audit. this is a letter Krista got in her, you wanna talk about it? Cause you had the contact with them.
Oh, so we can't call it a pre-audit, it's not a pre-audit. If that's what we're talking about.
Okay,
There's no, Barnett and Morrow would flip the lid if we ever use the A word on them, that's not,
okay, so what are they?
they're not a pre-audit. It is, they're gonna go through our QuickBooks and make sure they're balanced to the statements.
Okay,
They are going to put in your budget to actuals. I think for the preceding year, and if not, they're gonna start it for the new year.
okay, according to this, they're gonna go from January to June.
That's on the bank statements
Okay.
and reconciliations, because
Okay.
they said that we have quite a few journal entries that aren't necessarily identified
Okay,
for that year, not between January. I'm not saying between January and June. I'm just saying they said that there's some journal entries for that fiscal year that don't have documentation or notations on them, and they want to figure out what it's for.
Okay.
There's also outstanding checks for things that they thought were a little unusual to have outstanding checks for, like things such as payroll and things like that. Payroll type items. So they're gonna clean up what's there and make sure it's all balancing. She did say that the reconciliations appear to be in order, but there's journal entries and things like that she wants to clean up.
Cool.
Okay, but then I told her that the main thing to get going, number one, we wanted to know that our books were in line, and number two, and that all the entries were in line, and number two would be the budget to actuals.
Okay.
That our goal was to get budget to actuals for last year. And if we could get them started for this year, that would be fantastic, or a template. She was gonna work with Tricia on getting that set up.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
the fee for the service is $200 an hour. And, they estimated about 5 hours per month, so about 6,000, so.
Okay.
I didn't think that was too bad, but yeah, pre-audit is the wrong word, it's actually just the Barnett and Morrow, agreement that I signed to have them take a look at it so that we can figure out whether our books are in line with what they should be.
Okay, so.
We did not
I'm
present
I'm gonna
that.
just call it then financial assistance.
Yes, mhm. Yep,
Will they come in and? No, okay.
no, everything's online,
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah, and they know how to get a hold of you from what I understand.
yes,
So, yeah, Kim will be the one, I think.
okay,
Somebody over there is somebody you're working with, somebody medium of the road on the pricing.
okay.
I don't,
I have email address,
yeah, good.
thank you.
Yep, and I don't think they said it would, yeah, it wouldn't take very long, but.
Thanks.
New business, Kaizen?
Kaizen, it's a company that we're gonna use to, we'd like to, it's gonna be a software, new software cost. We're gonna use it for our programming software. It's a chunk of change, but it's gonna replace our cost for Team Sideline, Club Automation, Camp Life, our mock forms and our keep and share that we pay for. We're paying all this money into these 5, 6 different companies. And this will allow us to it'll be able to use at the campground and the rec center for all our programs that we use, and it'll be all into one program, which will financially help us track everything a lot better.
Somebody's gone over the demo to make sure it works for campgrounds.
Yeah, we've gone through with it, it'll do everything we need to do at this point. So.
Are they new? Because it seems like we just switched companies a good less than 5 years ago.
Oh, I would say, well, I know that, when. All of these are probably new within the last. Well, there might be only 2 on here that are from. Club Automation 2017. Team Sideline, I know they switched to that one. Yeah, it's newer. So some of these programs have been around that we've
What's
been
the
using.
cost on it?
It's
what is it?
35,000. And we're at 37 using the different programs, so it's gonna save a little bit, but I'm more confident with it of having everything together in one software program.
When's the change gonna happen?
Uh, we've just been going over the demos with them. It's I think a 3 month, timeline, I think is what he said, to transition everything into it.
Okay.
So,
Just thinking about as those next things come up for signups for the classes and all that stuff.
yeah,
How much information you get out to people, because, you know, you send it once, one time, you gotta send it 55 times.
Yep.
Like,
And they're gonna be able to do the whole registration for the park,
yep, registration.
refunds, visas,
Mhm.
reservations,
Mhm.
everything.
They send me, they're a
All
growing
of-
company and they send me demos and things that they're adding and doing to the program every day. Almost, I talk to him and I think it's going to be a great fit, not only for the campground, but for the rec center as well, to be able to cross train and things like that too. So,
Okay. Okay, QuickBooks?
With QuickBooks, we're just gonna add on the option to do all our workers' attendance through their program instead of right now, we got two different programs that is doing that as well. I'm just trying to make it so we got one system to take care of that. So, um, he'll, he'll take care of you attend and when I work. And we'll just, since we're already on QuickBooks for accounting, it'll make it so it just transposes right into it. So it'll make sense to do that.
As long as you have it, just make sure it's set up correctly so that your salaried people are based on a certain, because even though you're salary, you still have to put in hours so that it bases your
Correct.
benefits correctly.
Correct.
Yeah, so as long as somebody's putting all that in correctly versus the people who aren't. All right, action on IGA agreement.
The IGA agreement with the city is a preventative maintenance agreement and it's in your packet. This is what the city passed on to us, of what they've come up with for it. We wanna, when I went through it with our staff, we wanna add on here, there's nothing on there saying that. When what it does is it's covering the city for emergency situations. When we call out the city to help, like with the lift station, and that's what this is for our sewage. Cause over the 4th of July, we had the pump totally went down and we called the city out to help. They pumped it 2-3 times.
4 or 5, yeah.
Okay, more than I do. All right, and then, we had to call in the pump company that actually made the pump. They came in on Sunday and we had to replace pieces on that. Terrible time for it to happen. The one thing we'd like to that I'm gonna recommend we add on here based on the communication was, if the scheduled maintenance isn't done and emergency maintenance is required, that we don't get charged. We don't face a charge towards the district on that. And the other thing we're gonna add on is BPRD representative, to be in attendance in servicing. Those are the only two things, and I have not passed this through our lawyer yet, cause I don't have that from you guys to do. That's what I'm asking for approval to do, to send it on to the attorney to have him go through it. And add on those two pieces.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Yep, makes sense to me too. Luis, David, all right,
Yeah.
you're good, George.
Okay.
Mural painting,
Okay, one of the ideas that's come out of the park plan is our board out here that's for the fish tournaments that they don't use. No one uses it because they've all gone to computerized programs. And so the idea that someone came up with was to make it a mural that they can take pictures of in front of. I'm going, oh, that's a great one. Well, during the 4th of July, a bunch of us were walking around, including Tori, and they just finished the one up in the city, and she's going, oh, that's cool. Maybe we can, and so she brought it up about having the person do a mural for us down here. And we've got a person on staff we got, one's a contractor and one's one of our booth workers that are artists. And I'm going, we've got someone that can make a really cool mural. And so I don't necessarily want to go with, the chamber on this. I'd much rather do it in-house. And as long as it's a good design for us, I really want I want us represented down here on this if we do that. But I'm sure people have talked to you guys about doing this mural, and so my thoughts is if the people that we have, if they can put together a really cool design and do it, I'd much rather have them do it. So,
I mean, it's good for us to utilize those posts that are already in there, so then we don't have to replace, can't do anything, so.
no,
Might as well utilize those posts, so I'm good for that. I think just like when we were doing logo stuff, if you just bring some examples,
Yep.
would be good for us to go look at. I think that for me, I'd be comfortable with that.
okay.
Yeah. David, Luis, same?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's all work. I have no opinion.
All right, financial report?
Okay, it starts on page 10. Just want to follow along. First thing is bank balances. Our bank has 225,000. LGIPs consolidated has 4,396,444. Total cash is $4,897 and 69.50. Going on to what happened in June for revenues. The campground brought in 45,699. Rec center brought in 31,000. Subtotal was 76. And then we got a grant from BCDA for 90,000. The 90,000 is for instructors and youth sports, is that right?
It'll go, yeah, instructors and sports.
Yep.
Yep, that's what that's for.
And then we transferred over from LGIP 973,000. The reasons are on the treasury report. When we get that far, I'll explain later. Total bank deposits was over $1 million. You go on to page 12, it says it's out the camp revenues between June 25 to June 24. The revenue did go down some. Was it because of, you said it earlier?
We said, the contracts, we took out the contracts to being deposited in the booth. So that's why that's showing, if you look in the middle section, under sales revenue by category, you can see the huge difference. Especially in that non-revenue, non-inventory, because those were the contracts, and we talked about this last month, and we're gonna see that for a year, basically, that there's gonna be a difference.
Where'd you put it?
It goes under our contracts on here, so it won't show up as a campground revenue
Oh, I
anymore.
see what you're saying, all right.
Yeah, it goes into the QuickBooks directly.
And is this earned or what is this?
This that you're looking at, this is accrual.
Which is earned,
Which is not,
not earned?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's future revenue.
okay,
Going on to the LGIP. So a few things to point out here in the rec center. We did pay the go bond, so we had to take out 408,000 for that payment. And transfer it over to checking and pay the bond out of that. Transfer from Moore County was 14. And interest payment was $2,938. total in there still is $722,970. And then if you look at the general LGIP, we still have $3,673,3,473,000. There's a transfer over into checking of 465,000 in June. If you go into 14 and 15 and 16, it's all the checks that were written this in June. A few things to point out was the 56,000 on the first page to Cheryl Chevrolet, 952. That was for the car that we purchased. We did pay Sunrise Cleaning and Janitorial a couple times this month, just to do the expenses more in June instead of combining June and July. On the second page, the major ones was the $32,632 to City of Boardman. That was for the was it the city plan, or what was that for? The 32,000
That was a show the park plan.
That was
Yeah.
the park plan.
park plan, yes.
What is the gateway trailer for Hermiston?
That's what I was wondering.
It was on page 14. Check 1758.
17,
June 4th.
Gateway trailer of Hermiston?
Yep.
And then there's a site one landscape supply of 4754, two liner
Yeah.
I was doing. I was curious what those are for.
the gateway trailer was for the trailer that was
Oh,
purchased.
yeah, we purchased a trailer. A flatbed trailer.
Oh, okay. What was the site one
The
landscape?
type one, that is our, the company we purchase our, irrigation and some of our equipment, in the shop. So like our, battery operated, weed eaters and, what else did we get there? We have weed eaters, a blow, blower. It was just more shop equipment like that kind of for the, maintenance crew.
Okay. Where are they located at?
Site one, that's, Fanatical company, our representatives out of Portland. That he's the one that comes out and, helps us with the irrigation system through here that we use.
Okay.
So I see you paid back McCurd,
Third one out.
and that came out of our general account. We didn't have that in like a reserve anywhere.
No,
That was
that
in
was
our
it.
general account. Okay.
Yeah. That's part of the transfer we got out of LGIP general.
Strong refuge pool.
That is that was part of the grant we got from Wild Horse to purchase a new lift.
We had to pay it back or?
Yes, we had to pay back. We got 18,200 and the total cost of everything was just over 11,000. So we had to pay back that 7,000.
We paid back 10,940. It says,
The strong refuge was for the.
That's how much we paid for the lift, that 10,000. And so,
oh, so the strong refuge pool is for the lift.
yes. Yeah.
If you continue on to 17 is the treasury report. A couple things to point out. Under debt services, under Banner Bank is $90. If you look on page 18, it kind of lists why there is a $90 balance on 18.
You had asked about this a couple
Sorry,
months
where are you at?
Okay. So on 17,
Mhm.
treasury report. Under Banner Bank, there is an amount $90.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
$90 that you asked about last time. If you look on page 18. I went into the old accounting system and pulled up this report. On 2/29, there was $78,213 for daily cash and checks. The finance director on 3/12 pulled over $78,123.30. That left a balance of $90 in that account. And that's why you see the $90 under Banner Bank.
So why is it still there a year later is what I'm wondering.
Okay, it's, I didn't see it till this month,
Oh, okay.
and so that will be taken care of in July.
And why is it under debt service?
I'm not 100% sure on that, but,
Cause our debt service, the LGIP. That 1,907,000.
okay.
I guess I'm a little confused on why we have 1,907,000. Didn't we just have a report earlier that said we had? Transfer, where was that? LGIP as of June 30th. The park had 3.63.
That was my fault, probably. But sure. Yep, I will change that and get that straightened out next time.
Okay.
That,
That's okay. So, just for clarification though, so when we're looking at this treasury report. The operation, obviously, that's our Banner. No, it's not. Isn't the operation account our Banner Bank account,
okay, so
or is
if,
that the general fund?
I think the Operation Rec Center
Mhm.
is for like a reserve. On the left-hand side, there is a rec center, there is general fund park, there is debt service, boat docks, sewer, electrical, equipment expansion. That is debt service. And then under each one is Banner Bank, the general LGIP Bank, the rec center bank, and the total funds. So if you look at the general LGIP, the total is $3,673,473. And if you look at the LGIP, before it has the same amount.
No, right, but we don't. Why do we have 1.9 million in debt service? Cause we don't have any debt for the park. So I'm trying to figure out, I understand why the 706 is there, because that's for the bond payment. But the 1,907,000, the park itself, and that's in the general LIP, which is LGIP, which is for the park itself. And I didn't think we had, I didn't know that was labeled as that, I guess is what I'm getting at. I don't think it is. Can you just check on that, please?
Yes,
I don't, George, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand the 706, 70756 being in there for the debt service for the GO bond, but it makes it look like we have a debt service fund for our general account and we don't, that I'm aware.
oh, okay,
That I'm
Yeah.
aware. I
Yeah.
mean, somebody checked the audit from last year. Maybe that's how they have it labeled, but
Yeah.
we need to get some,
Yeah.
get some clarification on that.
yeah,
And then there again, $90 in debt service in the Banner. But I don't, I guess, yeah, I didn't think we had a separate account for that. So whatever account it was pulled out of, it needs to be.
yeah, I just pulled the report from MEP. And that's why there's a balance of $90 in Banner Bank. Is because the finance person on 3/12 pulled out less than what should have gone into the LGIP. If that makes sense.
And it'll be fixed next.
Yeah, it'll be fixed this time.
And then we'll figure out the debt services and everything there on that page.
So do we have a banner account just for the GO bond, or do we always pull in that payment to our
Polling.
banner, our regular account, and then we pay it from there?
Cause when we get the finances from the county, it goes directly into the LGIP.
So here's what's not on here, George. Nowhere does it say on here that we did any of our transfers to our reserve accounts. So did or did not? Did
We-
that happen?
We did.
Okay, so are these figures reflective of, that's what I hate about not having our old stuff in here, is that I have no idea if this was including or not including the transferred money. Cause it seems
Yes, and
electrical's only 20,000, that's what we have in it after we transferred the money from,
in July, we will have 40,000 in electrical, and sewer will have 60,000.
okay, so this does not include the transfers.
Does not include the transfers for 25, 26.
Nope, it'd be for the 24-25 year. We transfer all of our reserves at the end of the year, not at the beginning, so we would have. There should be no transfers into those reserve accounts until June of 2025, and that would have been for last year's fiscal year.
Okay, yeah, because I transferred them before that, I transferred into checking and then transferred out. And the accountant said, do it that way, and then do a spreadsheet. Do a spreadsheet that shows the reserves in those accounts. That's how she.
Yes, that's correct. But when did the transfers take place?
I'm not sure, sometime between when I got here in January to June. Should it happen in June?
No, so, well, yes, technically we do that in June because we wanna make sure we have the money to pay for them. Cause if we don't have the money, then we won't transfer the money. Does that
Okay.
make sense? So our budget is just fictitious until we know we have money, and that's why we've always waited till the end of our year
Okay.
to transfer, so that we know we have it.
So you're using the example, if we budgeted 20,000 for something, and then we come to the end of the year, we only have 10, we only put 10 in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I mean, for instance, the 100,000 that we budget to go into the,
Yeah,
if we don't have 100,000,
Yeah.
then we're not transferring it. So
Okay.
that's why we've always done those transfers at the end of our fiscal year,
Okay,
which would have been June of 2025.
okay,
But if you have transferred the money already, then as of June 30th of 2025, these reserves would have to show that that money's in there, and it doesn't. So if you've already transferred it in the fiscal year that we just passed,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I already transferred it for 24, 25. But I haven't done it for 25, 26 yet.
Right,
and
and you,
till June.
yeah, and you won't until June of next year.
June, okay, so,
But the figures that are here for these reserve accounts
Yeah.
need to be reflective of the transfers
Yeah.
that were made for that year.
okay, because the equipment and the expansion, somebody else did, and I just added, I'm not sure what the amounts were into those accounts. So I was just taking the amounts that were in MIP, and I transferred over more, more into those accounts at the end of the year. That makes sense.
So what it sounds like to me is we need to, if we already transferred that money in there, so right now currently that money's in there, we need to look at what this year's budget is already, right? To make
Right.
sure that we are, because we might have to pull out of that, pull those out, some amounts out if we don't have enough later, because that's all the money we have to.
Yeah, like the sewage, we're gonna have to use money from the sewage.
That's what I'm saying, so. I
Okay,
guess I guess if we can confirm next month for us,
Yeah.
this would be helpful, I think for everybody.
Yeah.
Is that if we can just say, okay, these are exact amounts that we put in our reserves compared to the budget that we adopted.
Okay.
Does that make
Alright,
sense? And then
yeah.
we know we're there, and that way, then we know if we already put that money in, then we know
yeah.
where it's coming from. That makes sense?
Yeah, because I already did it for 25, 26, so I will,
That sounds good, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
work out though, it's just gonna be a lot more line items now, right? Because if we have to take money out, but
yeah,
It'll be documented, so it's fine, just,
Yeah.
we gotta keep up to date as we go.
Yeah,
With
so,
that.
yeah, you were right at the end of the year. I thought it was at the beginning, so thank you for that clarification. A couple of things else on the treasury report. If you look at the notes down below, a few things happened. The first one was a transfer of 408,000 from LGI people checking to cover the bond payment. We also transferred 100,000 to cover the trailer, the vehicle and development adoption and park master plan. On 6/16, we transferred another 100,000 to cover payroll and billings. He said just pay as. The CEO said to pay as many bills as you can in June. So that's basically why we pulled so much money out to pay bills and to finish out the 24-25 year. And then we also pulled out 265,000 to pay back the pickup grant and pay that back.
So those were bills from, last fiscal year, and I want to try to get everything, even though they don't due until July, I want to try to get all of June paid off. All what was this last fiscal year, I wanted to pay before the 30th of June.
Did we create something in our budget that says that we have a line item now for 90,000 on the grant use? Why do we have that line item separately?
Oh, sorry. I added it there. Just so that we won't spend that 90,000. Do you want me to take that off or move it to somewhere else? Because we got that grant money and it's still in the checking account, so.
Well, it is part of our operations, right? I mean, we're supposed to be paying our
Yeah, it should,
tuition and all that. It should be probably in our. I don't think you have to itemize it separately. Like, either way, George has a budget that he has to go off of, and that 90,000 was included in, money that you would have been proposing that we would have received, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you could probably just shove that back into the,
To the general. fund?
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I just didn't want to spend it on other things besides the youth and instructor.
so there's the difference on, why it's so important for us to get Barnett and Morrow on board for that budget to actual. Right, cause we can have money sitting in there, but it all gets put into its little categories in your computer, right?
Right,
And that way, when George looks at it, he can say, oh yeah, we're tapping out the top of our 90,000 based on a category alone, right?
right.
But the,
Yeah, it just becomes a line item
Yeah.
within the budget anyways, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean, it's coded
Yeah.
that way, right?
yeah. When I look at this, I think, oh, you must have a separate account set up with 90,000 sitting in it. Yeah,
Okay.
so I would probably, that's the only reason I was saying we probably should get rid of that and put it back. Yeah, just put the money back where it should be somewhere
Yeah,
else.
fine.
Yeah,
So, yeah, cause we should be able to take each of the funds and each of the categories and get a total of what we've used,
Mhm.
which is what we kind of used to get something like that.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
so,
that's what they're gonna hopefully get us to.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, all right, thank you.
And then if you want to keep on going,
Boat dock loan 19.
yeah, what's that? Basically, I paid the 14,000 in June. And we're going to sit on it until next June and pay it off.
Yay.
Yay is
Yay.
right. Okay, all right, and then we see you made your payment in June for the bond. That's
Yes.
great.
And then moving on to the page 22, it says the recap of capital expenditures. It should be through June 30th, not June 18th. Sorry about that. The only thing that what is different is the ADA swim lift that we just purchased at the end of June for 10,940.
Is that already here?
No,
Okay, probably several months.
No, it comes next week.
So-
they said.
Hold on, I just have a quick question.
Okay.
So why, we're showing that our bond payment was 560,618.75 according to page 20,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
But on page 17, on 6.6, it says we transferred 408,681.43 from the LGIP pool. And we should be taking 100% of that payment from that pool.
Hey, the reason
Oh.
is, some of the LGIP, payments were already in the checking account. And they were never transferred over to LGIP, therefore it stayed in the checking account. And so that's why, we only transfer over that amount.
So that may be an issue for bookkeeping, like we need to make sure that if there's money that's supposed to go to that LGIP pool for the rec center. Because those are tax dollars, those aren't ours to sit in our operating account.
Right.
They have to go to that pool, and then we have to be pulling out the exact amount of our bond payments.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, it looks like you're using tax money for operations, and we're not.
Right.
But you're gonna have to make really good journal notes for that, or do we have good journal notes? If not, you better make good journal notes. Somebody better have some good notes, because the auditors are gonna pick that up.
Okay, all right.
They're gonna wonder why we only transferred 408 out of our tax money to pay a $560,000. You understand what I'm saying, George?
Okay. Moving on. Some of the things that, the profit and loss and the budget versus actual is coming up next. It's in accrual and cash. We were discussing earlier, what would be the easiest thing to do, cash or accrual, or continue to be both?
You mean in terms of presenting stuff?
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh, I like it both myself. I don't know what advice, so.
Yeah.
so you want the profit and loss and the budget versus actual
Mhm.
both? Okay, like it is? Okay,
You like that? one?
Whatever makes it easier for Krista, cause she fixed everything out faster than we can.
Well, all of you guys know it, and you guys all know what you're doing too. I think both. I agree with John.
Yeah.
okay,
There's big differences between the two. One's our what do we really have to go on, and one's our what we
What you
think we might
wish.
have. Yeah. Yeah, cause I mean, what if we had a disaster down here and the entire park, had canceled reservations for the last 6 months of the year, sorry. Then, you know what I mean, then we would, those accruals do us nothing, cause we'd have to refund all that money, so
And I
I'd
think
hate
it's,
to be operating.
and
on
I
that.
like, and I'm glad that you asked the question too about what we like, but I also like us to make sure emphasizing this is actually what we have. This is what we think we wanna get, or this is what it could be. We haven't collected it because it's not within the month that we've collected. I think making that point every month, I think it's good. We're gonna have a new member that comes on, and Rick, and I think that's gonna be good for him. Cause I knew it took me a while, somebody had to keep saying it over and over the first like 6 months, so I think.
Or a year
Or here.
for me.
So, the first couple of pages is June through. June 1st through the 30th for profit and loss accrual. And then. Okay, and then accrual for July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 25. And then it goes into cash basis, July 1st through June 30th, 2024, profit and loss. And then it goes into budget versus actual budget. cash basis,
You know, some of the things that I like, I don't know about stuff like this, but like, if there's. And you did a good job before, you put some lines on things you wanted to talk about. I think there's some things in here that especially that you think we're gonna wanna talk about. Put a line there, so it's easier for us to have an eye on it.
Jen-
Yeah,
okay,
this is a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. And to me that matters, right? Like, whatever the total, like, what number do we need to look at, you know?
okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so one thing that to point out is on page, let's just talk about it now, get it out of the way, is on page 45. The last item is interest, 6122. So. So number one, the 260,000 is, makes up, like the bond interest that we pay in June. That sort of thing, so I. In last fiscal, fiscal officers, they put the interest on the balance sheet. And I thought under liabilities, and so I was like, why did they do that? And I looked it up on the internet and it said that it was a, non-operating expense. And so I think that, I will transfer the 260,000 over to the balance sheet. If that's okay under liability. I'm not sure, what do you guys think of that?
So we're not CPAs. I
Okay,
think that you should ask Barnett and Morrow.
okay, alright,
I have no idea how to answer that, and George, you need to get to the bottom of that.
okay,
We've been discussing that.
Okay,
okay, I think,
ask CPAs,
sorry,
because these are things we'll get audited for, so anything we can help to alleviate our audit results being bad would be great.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because in the past, on other jobs, the interest was always an expense to me. But in this situation, it's different because it's budget versus actual, so that's why I asked that question.
Yeah, I'll agree with Chris, so whatever they say and you agreement with it, like, I'll agree with us.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, we wanna have money and pay for all the things that we're spending municipal,
Okay,
right?
right, okay, the other thing that I found out is on page 48. It's on cash basis, the net income for the budget is 2,600,000. Okay, so I went back and I looked at, the budget that was made for 24-25, and that 2,600,000 was the cash and everything that was, I can't think of it, cash on
Maybe-
hand, cash on hand,
Okay, yeah.
cash on hand. So that's what the negative 2,600,000 was.
Can you repeat that again? Please, I sort of got distracted with something
I'm
else.
just wondering if we should just wait for Barnett and Morrow to finish their book, you know what I mean? Cause
Yeah.
they're going to come up with, they're gonna look at what we have here and tell us whether it was right or wrong,
Okay,
Okay,
so.
Yeah.
I
Did
think
you-
that we should just wait, probably,
okay, wait,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Alright. And then we have the accrual side of the budget versus actual. I don't really have anything to point out here. Just if you have any questions,
I have a question on page 30.
page 30.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to finish, but I feel like we're getting further and further away from it.
Okay. Just a sec, going back. Okay,
1519, it just said, just got me, summer recreational personnel deleted. For 38,980.
What number is it?
It's right here,
The,
5019.
yeah,
okay,
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I said 30. 5091, yeah.
I have no idea why.
I can explain that. That's because
Okay.
we went through and renumbered everything. Had new geo codes put on there, so we can, put them in order. And we didn't have things jumping around. And so 5119 was all our summer rec personnel. There was one where we put all the rec personnel individually. Each person has its own GL code now. So that's why that was deleted off there,
Okay, so it was a bundle, now you separated it.
just separated
Okay.
each out, yeah.
But there's money in it? It's a deleted account, but you have money in it?
Just the number, the personnel are still on there. Trying to see where I can find it for you here. Oh, it's deleted for this year, that's what it is. So that number system, they're all, yeah. You'll see it for this next year. They're all individual. You'll still see this summer rec personnel on there, on our listing. With that number in parentheses on it later on. Like you can see it on some of the others here, like chief executive officer got changed to 5101. And the old number's 5121. There's still summer rec personnel. We still have those people. But they just have their own individual GL codes now.
So,
Did you make this change as of July 1?
Yes. Yep. And just that the system is going back.
so the summer recreation personnel and the summer program staff for 1519 on top and bottom is the same thing? On the very bottom.
Campground personnel. No, campground personnel would be these people here. Our booth aides, campground aides.
No, the summer program, two above it.
5019 50.
Yeah,
Because it's the
yeah,
same.
same number. Yep, it's the same.
We were at 52.
Okay, we're still looking at a 12 budget versus actual. Okay, is there any questions on the finance? Right.
No, not, I mean, yeah, not right at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're presenting that. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. So. I would take a motion to approve the financials.
I make a motion to approve the financials as presented.
I'll second.
So. Can somebody just say that we approve them with the fact that we have notations on them? Because we clearly have some. Things that need to be clarified.
So I make a motion to approve the financials with notations and Barn and Morrow's. I guess cleanup or recommendations.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Thank you very much. Budget deficiency plan on a correspondence. I know you received a letter. Did you sign the letter and send it back or fix it, do whatever it is you needed to do to send that in?
Okay, we did receive a letter, from the Oregon State's Secretary of State. And we had come up with a plan for our, material weaknesses and our deficiencies that we had on there. So I went through, made a plan for each of the individual,
Deficiencies?
deficiencies and weaknesses. And it required a date of implementation. And so on it, there is, the plan of action for each one that, and I took the weakness as worded from our accountant, from the audit. And came up with our plans to fix our problems and use their recommendations that they had given us. And there, so they, they divide, one of the ones here was the type of deficiency was a significant journal entries were required to adjust the financial statements to a full accrual basis in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. The possible effect was the effectiveness of ongoing monitoring monthly is limited when financial statements do not properly reflect activity in a timely manner, which increases the risk that a material transaction or error could go undetected. And the recommendations was continue diligence in recording activity accurately in a timely manner and implement procedures, particularly at year end, to adjust all material account balances to proper amounts. So the plan was to record activity accurately, ensure all material account balances are adjusted to proper amounts, particularly at year end. And the timeline, a timeframe for the implementation, the date of implementation, I put today's date on here because it's the date we can sign this. Our weakness with reconciliation of rec center revenue between the general ledger and the club automation software is not being performed consistently. Some of this had to deal with, we just didn't have a financial manager at the end of the year. So there was a difference, a financial difference, and they gave us a recommendation of implementing procedures to reconcile recreation center revenue to the general ledger as soon as possible. So the plan of action is to record daily activity accurately by the front desk coordinator, ensure the reconciliation of the rec center revenue and the club automation is done by the finance manager, and ensure the account balances from the rec center are adjusted to proper amounts in the general ledger by the finance manager. And again, today's date for implementation.
How are you fixing the deficiency we had about that we were $4,000 in credit card payments with no receipts?
Well,
What's the action on there that you wrote?
on that action for that one, I just want to get the right one. That one, the recommendation is to record activity accurately and ensure internal procedures are followed for turning in receipts. That's what I put down for that.
What procedures do you have?
We have it's a whole list and it goes from the time when we get the bank statement, the first thing that I do is I initial it, go through it, look if there's any charges that look look abnormal to me, and then I'll take that directly. At that point, I give the file where they keep their credit card receipts. I give that file and that statement to the manager. The manager goes through, they initial that they've received the credit card receipt. And then they go through and make sure they have the credit card receipts with the statement. And they go through and they have to initial and they have to write down which.
What managers?
Or,
Like each manager?
yeah, they have to go through their, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's something you're supposed to be doing. You or our finance person are supposed to be the ones that are comparing the receipts to the credit card
Well,
bills.
that happens afterwards. We have them go through, put in what GL code that they have to take the money out of. And then they turn that into her, she double checks all that, and then it comes to me, and then I check it. So, and once then I sign off, and everyone signs off on the procedure as we go along. And then I'll sign off that it's okay to pay when it's done. Now. There's still some receipts that we can't find.
Why?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because the finance manager at that time, I totally believe she bushwhacked us,
No, I'm talking about in the fiscal year 24-25.
okay?
That year.
There should be nothing in this year,
That's
this
what I'm
last
talking
year.
about. I'm not
Yeah,
talking about that. I'm not talking about the previous year we were written up for. I'm talking
Okay.
about the year that we're coming into an audit for. You're
Okay,
saying everything from July 1st of 2024 to June 30th of 2025 should be,
We should be okay,
okay.
yeah.
We've already been hit up for the past. We're not gonna
Yeah.
go back to that.
Well, I don't, yeah, that's the whole reason we put this in.
Okay, so have you sent that in? What are you
No,
doing?
I
with
just, we just gotta sign off on it, that you guys are okay with it. And I would say, it gave places for the board chair and vice chair to sign off and myself. So I would say you two, you guys
it?
should,
No, give me that. Why would we sign off of it when we're
Is
not
that-
doing the operations of this park?
well, that's what it had on there from what the email I got, the website. And we go to,
This is something you did. Where's the actual letter you got? Cause this is you putting our names on that. We have not received a copy of the required plan of action as adopted by the governing body. So we have to adopt this as your plan of action? Is that what you're saying?
correct,
Okay. Was this in our packet?
no, cause I didn't know that we had to do this until just short time.
Can we vote on it?
It's on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you went through and basically just took the information that was on our audit and slapped it back on here as our
That was,
plan of action?
well, I took what they recommended, yes, and then we added in some other on there.
Okay. Time frame for implementation.
Some of the stuff, what we started fixing back then, but I just put today's date, cause that's the date we're approving it. Here's the copy, yes, I look at it.
Wasn't we originally supposed to have that in on that letter? Do you have the letter, Luis?
No, he's figuring
Right here.
out.
When was the initial deadline we were supposed to have had it turned in by? Did we get a letter? Or,
I don't, this is the first correspondence. I went through my email to see if they sent me anything. I don't have anything. This is the first thing I have of this. Cause they got our, the date, there was a copy, they got our audit. They wouldn't have gotten that until end of January. I wanna say January sometime. So this letter was dated July 7th. And it says when significant deficiencies, material weaknesses and recommendations for improvements have been reported by auditors in association with the financial statements audit, the governing
Okay.
body of the municipality is required to file a plan of action with the Secretary of State within 30 days of delivery of the report by independent auditor.
So I thought our books, my books didn't have my audit in it from last year, not,
We can put them back in.
Yeah.
Yep, they're all just in the file cabinet. We can.
like under our names.
Mhm.
Do you think that like in the audit, our auditors would have? Cause we had some deficiencies on there, which we knew, right? I mean, this is, nothing here is new.
Correct.
So why is that not the auditor having us? Maybe that's a good question for them.
She might have put it in her report. She might have, that's why I'm looking, I usually keep my audit here and I'm wondering if it's in our report and we just didn't. Yeah,
Okay. Well, that's why we gotta make sure we get that done tonight then.
yeah.
I'll blame another board member, it's not here tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
It has to be like, in the like.
Yeah, you look at that one. I'll look at this. Oh, here's a January 22nd order. Audits, correction. Oh, that's what they turn in for us. Hmm.
I don't see anything.
I know.
So, I mean, it's worth asking them, right? Like just in the,
Yeah, can you do that?
cause I mean, if it's something now we have to do, like we'll just be prepared in January, like it's not a problem.
I think, when is our auditor coming in? September again?
August.
Oh, August, okay. Yeah, can,
That was
I'll bring it up as well, but if you could write that down to ask them, that if, you know, if we're supposed to be filing something, it'd be really nice to know that. As the board, so I'll take a motion to approve George's plan of action to be turned into the Oregon Secretary of State Audits Division.
I make a motion to approve the budget deficiency plan of action.
I'll second.
Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, George. All right,
gotta sign that.
so as far as the updates go, does the board need to any time to go over those, or did you guys read them? Do you have questions on the campground update? If not, then let's push forward.
Good.
Yeah, sounds good.
You're good. Luis, are you good?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The next one is HR. Do you guys have any questions about HR? If not, let's move forward.
No questions here?
Rec Center. Report. Maintenance.
The showers at the rec center are down again. Are we just gonna
They are, they are,
replace the innards, or are we gonna actually?
they're working on a commercial system right now to bring in inlands, working on changing the whole thing.
Good. Then, we already kind of talked about it, the water pressure. Need to find a solution at the off ramp. But I don't ever remember that off ramp being that yellow. It seemed like we had better coverage in the past. Maybe you can tell me whether we don't have enough pressure down there.
I think it's always been yellow, it's just. I don't know, you get the solenoid sprinklers, but it's always been yellow, the pressure stays the same. The only time you lose pressure, if our meter goes bad, or if the city loses pressure overall.
I was told that it was because we had
Yes,
too many,
sprinklers
sprinklers.
on a single line,
Honestly.
that's why it's always been yellow. They don't, the sprinkler generally is from like 15 to 25, I think that's what they have, 15 to 25 feet. It does the bare minimum because there's so much water, there's not enough pressure to push them out.
So is there a way to put another valve in there?
Yeah, but you would have to put a new valve,
A new
trench
main line?
it, new line and everything, and readjust the other ones. But you could also cap or remove some with funny pipe. Just, you can add that, put some to the existing one and just move them, offset them a little bit more. Cause I believe they're all directly tied into the main line, but if you add like foot, you can start moving them, spread them out, but it requires just a little bit of digging.
Okay, on your report. What day did they do their annual inspection, the Corps?
Wednesday,
Like the Wednesday after the 4th of July? So the 4th was on what, a Friday?
Yep, 9th.
So do we, even just for the 4th, we have cans that are out that don't have liners and lids on them?
Well, no, what had happened was we put out extra cans out there. And what happens is when they came, we hadn't collected those up yet. And it should have been collected, but they were still out. And so there were, cans that had they had liners, but they're down at the bottom. That had happened. And so when the kids that morning, had their lunches, so then you couldn't see a liner. It was just with garbage on it. And then and some of those did not have lids. That is correct.
So they're, okay, and where's my agenda? This might be on that anyway. Comfort and clothing.
Curious on the workers that are working by the water and road must wear high vis clothing.
Yeah, like,
How is that? I guess I'm struggling with how that is a directive from them.
that came from the park ranger, thank you. The park ranger, that was one of her things that she said that when we have people that are working, whether it's close to the roads or close to
So the
the.
Corps has their own park ranger?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's where park rangers are at, is through the Corps of Engineers.
It's not, it is a suggestion I agree with. I agree with David, though. It just seems weird to see it in a
yeah.
core inspection,
Yeah.
but.
It wasn't anything that, we were like dinged on or anything like that. Just one of their things that they're pushing right now. And I get it, someone fell in and we didn't know. Finding them would be a lot easier with that high vis in that murky water. Heaven forbid.
So did they talk to anything about anything else when they stopped by?
These were the points that they talked to us about, or that they saw. I mean, they went through, they walked through, they start here, then they go back, behind the shop here, or behind by the tanks. Cause that's always an issue, the gas tanks and the fuel tanks, on our kit. For cleanup, any spills or anything, we had to replace that last year. cause the lid had split, cracked open, and so we replaced it with a brand new system. And then they go into the shop, walk through that, they were pleased that we got a new fuel tank, like our gas tanks. They go into a new container that we have to hold them. And we got all our, you can't have certain chemicals in those, with those gas things, container things.
We
So,
need combustible and flammable separate.
correct, they have to keep separate, and so we're able to do that now. So, yeah, this was actually a really good inspection, I would say.
Okay. Any other questions, board? Otherwise, I'm moving. You guys good?
So we had a tournament last weekend, fishing tournament last weekend, we have another one this weekend.
Yeah, last week was a walleye, this is big bass.
Going on, this big fire was going on,
What's that?
it was going on during the big fire.
We did volunteer during that, offer our facility. They didn't feel like they needed it. And then it ended up shrinking down to the Sage Center like we know, so that was even better. We offered to be a collection site as well. They didn't need it. All worked out.
All right, on number 12, board member reports, so. We had a, kind of a complaint, verbal complaint over these three things, A, B, and C. Company clothing, I don't know why any of our employees wouldn't be wearing identifying clothing. So if we have employees running around that don't have clothing on that identifies who they work for, then they need to have shirts.
We've ordered shirts. They are, Mr. Burt's in process of making those.
Okay. I agree with the core. We have people working anywhere near traffic. They should have on some vests, something yellow, orange,
I bet.
green.
Could be in every vehicle, probably maybe check.
Yeah.
They don't recommend orange anymore. It's stick to yellow mostly.
Yeah.
And it's an OSHA requirement if you're working on near the streets to be wearing a vest.
And it is, yeah, I mean, you should be making it mandatory for every employee to be wearing a shirt that has the logo on it.
Yeah.
Spider webs in the bathroom. That was over the 4th. They said they look up and there were spider webs in the bathroom down at the park. The main bathrooms down at the camp, not the campground, but the day use bathrooms.
Okay.
So if they're cleaning and they're not looking up, they need to be looking up, get their little webby brushes out and get them cleaned off. Cause it says we're cleaning them every day, but we must not be, if those are piling up within a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. I went down there to these restrooms just yesterday, and I went back in there today and there's more spider webs. After
Yeah.
cleaning them yesterday. I mean, just. They
Have you checked
produce.
with like, Action Pest Control or anything like that to see if they could spray?
Well.
I mean, they make chemicals that are
yeah,
human friendly now. You should be able to get somebody to spray something. So that it deters them. Pretty please.
You bet.
We have anybody that's certified to spray?
Nope. We were putting Caden through the class and he's gone.
Okay, dead grass in the park? Have we got have any resolution on that next to the, down there, day use area, right next to the bathrooms, there's some really big patches without any water.
I guess I gotta see those myself. I thought we were talking up here, so I wasn't focused on this.
Oh, no, they're down by they're down on the day use.
I mean, I don't recall, I mean, I know last year we had a lot of problems because of all the construction. But it doesn't seem like the years before that, we ever had a lot of dead space down here.
Yeah.
And am I not speaking correctly, or?
Well, if it's out that they use, I know we got an area between. The bathrooms to the basketball courts. We've been working hard on getting that. Green again, cause that to me is our one area that's just been a pain. It's just been, I don't know how it's gonna take off again.
I guess it's these.
Oh,
That's the
we've
back-
never had stuff like that.
And those.
And I have a few spots like that I just had to hook a hose up and soak it.
So why are you guys struggling so hard to get those green? What are you guys doing?
This one right here, like
Well, I
those are
don't
the
know why they're
bathrooms,
stuck
and then
it,
there's the
so.
pavilion.
It's
and
by the
this
bathrooms, by the,
So
with
it's all
the,
there,
where they rent the
and then
pavilion,
off
or
this-
on the back side of the
Those-
bathrooms.
I did.
In
That-
yellow.
That's always been an area of
That
struggle,
one.
and I don't know why it is, but we,
And this was all
I
done.
go down, and put a
Crispy.
sprinkler on there myself,
Crispy.
Can
And
we,
then-
just a regular
and then
sprinkler,
This is
just
over
leave it
facing,
on, leave it on, leave it on.
yeah, like that's facing that way.
Do we
West.
consulted, have we ever consulted like a specialist or bring somebody in to kind of like do a different evaluation on our water? Like we're just talking about like the sprinklers, right? Moving the sprinklers in some spots. I mean, is that something that you might want to look into? Just because
Yeah, we,
being this is like, I mean, you gotta be an expert in this. It's not just,
Yeah.
have some.
When's the last time that you know that you fertilized or aerated the parks?
I know Jim fertilized. I don't know when he's fertilized that area myself off the top of my head. But he fertilizes during the summertime.
We have a running record of fertilization.
Yeah, he keeps, I don't have it off the top of my head.
Well, fertilizing was recommended in the early spring and
Right.
fall.
Right,
Yeah,
well, he
aerating.
fertilizes when he first comes on in May, he'll fertilize
Oh,
them.
okay.
And then.
Is that the stage, Kristen?
Yeah, that's a stage in the background of, you know what I mean, of where you had your stage going. See how it's just like, you can see the green grass and then you can see the grass that's there, but it looks like it's dying. And I'm just curious why we have such big patches, so.
I'm gonna assume a broken sprinkler is normally the easiest caused. Cause if it would be a line, it would be more than where the line's running. It would be the line or the solenoid itself. It's probably just a sprinkler.
I know
so-
that our camp host, he does do walks all the time because he has his dogs and he does flag them for us. And I know Brad goes and tries to fix all of them the best he can.
Mhm.
But he does tell us, he takes up pictures of them. So. I don't know.
See what I mean?
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway, check, if you could check into it, we just wanna try to,
I do wanna say, I wanna talk about company clothing just so you, because maybe that's our brand, so we worked a lot on, changing the logo and doing that. And that's easy advertisement, everybody needs to know who worked for the Park and Rec and, advertising. When we're working, that's our free advertisement in essence, right? Like we're investing in ourselves within that, so I think that's really big. Plus, I think it's a good reminder for just collectively that once we're wearing that brand, maybe that's the way we're acting. Not saying anybody's doing anything inappropriate, but
Yeah.
to me, like, that matters, especially if we have seasonal workers that are working, they still represent the Park and Rec. And if they're choosing to wear that logo and then they leave after the job's done for the day, maybe they change their shirt, cause that matters as well, so.
thank you. Okay, other business?
Yeah, I just, Little League, just kind of came to me, I probably could have put it in my board report piece was, I know that, we talked about, we gave it to you, get you to kind of make a decision off of Little League to change. I guess some people are wanting to make sure that we at least join a league and not go independent, that's what I'm hearing, I don't know what you're hearing, but, they're afraid of going independent, that we're not gonna have, nobody will wanna play us whatsoever, and or can we fill our schedule? So if we can work towards another one or bring people together, bring in I don't know, I mean, definitely, I think having a meeting for people that wanna go to be part of the Little League in here. And having those people help with that discussion might be useful.
Yep.
That's what it seemed like, but they keep fighting me because of my past
I know,
relationship with
I
it,
get
and
it.
I was like, I don't know anything about that, so. Okay, there's my 2 cents on it.
So I went to the Little League meeting for, Columbia Little League last week. I explained to them that we are going to run a baseball program for, the kids next year. That doesn't mean that someone can't join Little League and be part of their, because they're in our, this is their boundaries. And that's fine. Um, We've been, I know our sports coordinator has been in contact with the Blue Mountain Little League Association down in Hefner. And that will have to be a decision made at the regional office in LA. Whether they can redo the boundaries. And the other communication has been with Umatilla. Their Parks and Rec, they are also looking at doing something different. Just don't know what yet. And he's waiting to hear from his board on what direction they wanna go. It could be we form a league with, up in Tri-Cities to do, Cal Ripken. Cause they have Cal Ripken up there. And if we do so, then it would be us playing each other on that. But we'd also, I did find out, talking to a Little League District 3 rep. She said if we did go, not in a league of any sort, and we just do our own, just, a rec league, then we would not be allowed to play against Little League teams. That was my understanding before. We would be able to, we just had to do an IGA with them. But they're saying they will not do that with independent leagues. Little League won't. So I did get told that. So it does make us need to look for being in some sort of league.
Yeah, that's what's the concern people had, so
Yeah.
I think it'd be wise to do it early.
Oh, yeah.
Or have
Well,
your,
we're trying to.
have your rec person or whatever, say,
Yeah.
hey, get that, figuring out all that stuff. Yeah.
And, so we're trying to figure out if we're gonna, which I'm kind of hoping, we can get something going with Umatilla. That way we're still playing in this area with it and still be able to play the Little League. So I listened to the Little League president. He's got a lot on his plate. It's his first year being president, so he made some mistakes and stuff, which I liked how he listened to the complaints. On what to do better for next year and stuff, so, we'll, but the financial part, man, what a mess. So,
All right, thank you. Any other business, board? We're good? Thank you. Let's go ahead and so before I adjourn our regular meeting, I think I'm gonna go ahead and, I will adjourn our regular meeting and go into executive session for 192.6602E. And we're gonna go ahead and have our board secretary stay on for that portion, and then we'll come back out and excuse her from note taking. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and adjourn our regular public meeting at 7:35, and we're gonna go ahead and excuse, I'm sorry, to go into executive session under ORS 192.6602E to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to negotiate real property transactions. We're gonna go ahead and ask the, I guess the only, well, yeah, HR as well. So HR and finance, I'm so sorry, but you are gonna have to step away. And we're gonna go ahead and keep our
Thank you.
CEO and our board secretary on board.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, appreciate you coming. All right, we are reopening our general meeting, public meeting at 7:41. And we are disclosing that we are going back into executive session under ORS 192.6602B. To consider the dismissal or discipline of, or to hear complaints or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual agent who does not request an open hearing. And we are going to dismiss our board secretary from this executive session. And I'm wondering if we should, I mean, we need to meet with HR, so do we?
Well, we
We're
can say
gonna-
we're gonna include HR first and then.
Yeah, we're gonna include HR first, and then we'll bring CEO back in to that. So let's go ahead and adjourn at, the 7:41 and excuse board secretary. Okay, we are reconvening, sorry, our general public meeting of the Boardman Park and Rec District. And if there's no further business before the board, we will go ahead and move to adjourn.
Adjourn,
Thank you.
9:53.